Okay, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, and people, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? You probably know what I'm talking about. Maybe, maybe not, but we do have to talk. Listen, it is now Friday, January 17th, 2025 pre-market report. People, let me show you this. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Global bond yields are dropping. What's going on here? Quite obviously, this is a coordinated effort yet again by central banks who are buying it all right under our freaking noses across the board. On the back of that, let me show you what's going on here. We got the US 10-year yield cratering. We got the MMRI continuing to drop. We got global stock markets across the board rising. It's incredible. Now, understand, there's fear in the market, which means this is generally a time to buy. The timing of this is just an incredible thing. You have to understand, nothing is by accident. Now, let's talk about it further just a little bit. Stock futures right now higher across the board here in the United States. Gold and silver, under a little pressure. You got Bitcoin surging, cryptos surging across the board. So again, let's put this together right here and right now. Obviously, this is a coordinated effort by central banks to pump the debt market yet again. Is it enough? Is it going to work? Well, with regard to being enough, we already understand what's going to happen, what is happening right now. We got the global market really trying to find any reason to move higher. Now, yesterday they floated out Fed Governor Waller, who promised that there would be multiple rate cuts. Again, this is great for the market. It's just a wrecking ball for the purchasing power of the currency and therefore the economy. But doesn't matter. Headline from today, traders bet on more Bank of England rate cuts after data shocks. The data is miserable. So what does that mean? Central banks are going to use this as an excuse to cut rates further, which is, look, man, people don't know. They don't understand the mechanism here. They believe that this is going to be some kind of a saving grace. Literally, absolutely not. It's a wrecking ball, but it will tend to prop up the markets. It's an incredible situation here. But look, man, what we've witnessed as of late, this is, I mean, I don't think it's a real surprise to those of us who follow this stuff here. We understand, all of us, at least we should, that central banks here, they have one goal. You know what it is, that is to continue to inflate via any mechanism. And then, find reasons to sell to the people why they should be cutting rates. For example, a global economic slowdown here, bad economic news. Hey, you know what? Let's lower rates here. You can't make this stuff up. But that's where we're going. And world leaders, puppets, playing right into the hands or working with central banks to make sure rates go down. And you understand what that means. At its core, it's a wrecking machine for the purchasing power of the currency. And that was my biggest a call moving into this year from last year. I said, we're going to see massive currency devaluation around the world. And the people are being wiped out. When are they going to wake up? I don't know. Is this part of it too? What do you think? So Capital One is acknowledging an outage as Capital One bank users can't access their deposits, and there's a lot of anger and fear associated with. Is this just a test here? I don't know. How about this one? BlackRock going all in on Bitcoin. All in on Bitcoin. Institutions like BlackRock have now become the new whales. You and I knew this anyway, man. With regard to cryptocurrencies, I know how many of you still hate this stuff, and I understand, believe me, there's a lot of reasons to not trust this. It has nothing to do with trust. In my opinion, this is a means to an end because this has become survival, people. What's happened here? The financial system has been absolutely weaponized against we the people of the world, not just here in the United States, with puppet leaders promising you lower rates, with central banks lowering rates, which with much more to come. Don't listen to Greg Mannarino anymore. Listen to the Waller creature, Federal Reserve vomitous puke that it is. He's the new spokesperson. Have you noticed? Whenever there's a problem in the market, they float out Waller, Waller, Waller. It's it's wild to witness this kind of stuff here. But what else would you imagine would happen here? The mechanism is not going to stop moving forward, and the global economy, people, look. The issue here really comes down to the pulling of debt into the now from the future, and this is again destroying us all. Do you need proof? How many of you actually need more proof of what's happening around you and the promises that it's going to be different and this is going to happen? It's not going to change. Once you wake up and realize that you're being played, maybe you'll understand. I know most of you, 99% of you get it. And I really wish there was a way for us to get through to everybody, but they can't. They've been brainwashed. They've been psyoped. They've been sucked into believing in something that has no bearing on reality. And we're not going to be able to get through to everyone, but that's okay. This is really a natural selection that's going on. I've been telling people this for 10 years. It took a lot of heat a while back when I said it like that. I don't know how many people are actually putting it in those kind of words, but it really is a natural selection. In other words, very few people, very few, in my opinion, are going to survive in the literal sense what is coming. We are being pushed into a worst case scenario as central banks continue to inflate. You all know that. We're being absolutely, in the literal sense, eliminated, eradicated. This is an extinction level event on a global scale with regard to the middle class, and I've been explaining this to you since like forever here. All this is a mechanism, especially here in the United States. You're going to see more wealth pushed up to the 1% and 2% this year than you've ever seen before in history. Because that's really, look, this is a game. All the players have been put in place here. The millionaires, the multi-billionaires, the billionaires here. This is what we have been warned about, this takeover. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. It can't be stopped. The wheels are in motion, period, the end. And unfortunately, if we do not turn these tables like we've been doing, you and I, for years, staying ahead of the curve, doing things that we don't want to do. For example, BlackRock going all in on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as we're being bridged into the new system, being made the crypto capital of the world, being disconnected from any kind of a constitutional money system, which would, again, fix the system. We could fix the system in many, many ways, but every single dynamic in play right now is pulling us further and further away from fixing it here. You want to really change the system? Yes, we need to return to a constitutional money system. You all know that we could end the Fed today if that's what we were doing. If for example, Trump on day one, we're going to, reinstitute us to a commodity-backed system, a gold-backed system, we can end the Fed. That would be the day the Fed would end. Won't happen. The Fed is going to be further empowered as we are being thrust into a system we did not vote for, nor do we want. This crypto system, which is nothing but a bridge into full tokenization. And the issue is, everyone knows it's coming. Everyone knows it, but there's no pushback, nothing. So they can do whatever they want to. Again, their playbook dictates they must tell you what they're going to do first. It's not our playbook. Our playbook... I'm not even going to say any more about this. I think we're pretty much all on the same page. But anyway, look, what I want you to take away from this video here, right now, as I am speaking, you got stock futures higher across the board as the 10-year yield is dropping. Subsequently, the MMRI is dropping. Bond yields around the world are dropping. Do you not see that this is a coordinated effort by central banks because they had to take action? You and I, think about it. Just over a week ago, we started saying if central banks don't take immediate action, not a week or two, or immediate action, this whole thing would implode. Believe me, they know what we know. Okay, and this is exactly what's going on. We've witnessed some incredible action here. Think about how much cash has to be pumped into the system to buy all this debt, and what does that mean? Currency devaluation, people. As I've been telling you, we are being wiped out. And unfortunately, as I said, we have to do things that we wouldn't normally do. And if that means we unfortunately have to mimic what companies like BlackRock are doing on back of the Trump trade to make us the crypto capital of the world, the Bitcoin president, I mean, come on. What other proof do you guys and girls need? I don't know what to tell you. If you don't do what they do, look, we've been betting against the system and becoming our own central bank since day one here, doing what central banks are doing. And obviously that's the right thing to do because the system is going to implode on itself here. The debt hyper bubble, it looks like they're not done inflating it. And with regard to the market, yes, this is very stock market positive. But it's a wrecking machine. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Artificially suppressed rates and currency devaluation are an economic wrecking machine, but it will push the markets or potentially could push the stock market much higher. That's all we got. We have right now the most stock market friendly president select the world has ever seen. It's incredible. The man during his last tenure, I'm talking about Trump, obviously, every day, how did that stock market do? Rah, 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 we're all rich. I wasn't talking about you. It was currency devaluation and artificially suppressed rates then, which inflated a massive hyper bubble in debt more so than we've ever seen. Again, think about the last three presidents, what they have done, colluding with the Federal Reserve, the most evil, corrupt institution in the history of the world. This alliance, this game of politics is the devilism. People, you want to participate in that? Good for you. We have to understand what it is and take action. I don't know another way to put this. I think all of you understand what I'm talking about here. But again, the mechanism here, and here's more proof. Traders are betting on more rate cuts. It's not just the Bank of England. It's the Federal Reserve and all these other central banks who are coordinating their effort, not just to buy debt like we're seeing right now, but to continue to artificially suppress rates, open up that doorway to drive cash into the stock market and suck it right out of you. We're being robbed blind. And no one's talking about the grand theft. And it bothers me to the core of my being. We're being robbed here of purchasing power every single freaking day. And when you hear a politician or a central banker say, we're going to lower rates or promising you lower rates, that means they're laughing at you. They're setting you up to fail. Anyway, guys and girls, look, let's just keep our eyes on this. You and I think we know what to do. With regard to the stock market, I remain 90% out of it. Until I see more evidence that the stock market is going to respond positively to more easy money, which is coming, I will remain out of here. I will be, as I said, I am looking, and I might even do it today, all right, buy Bitcoin, XRP, do what BlackRock is saying. They're going all in on the Trump trade with regard to Bitcoin. This should tell you something. Trump's alignment with these institutions like BlackRock and the Federal Reserve, very dangerous. Quite obviously, that in itself is devilism, as I think we're pretty much all on the same page here. But we're going to continue to do what we're doing, betting against the system, holding hard assets, silver, people. I'm going to be buying more of that as well moving forward. Look, it's pretty obvious what we need to do here. The wipeout or the extermination event of the world middle class is going to accelerate in 2025. You can count on that as central banks fulfill their goal here to own it all. They're buying it all. And some politicians are even promising you that they're going to work with the Fed to bring you lower rates. That should tell you something here. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I don't really give a damn. Just go away. Unfortunately, this is what's happening. It's too freaking obvious. All right, guys and girls, look, Love you from the heart. I mean that with all I got. We got this, and we're not gonna stop what we're doing here, and that's kind of it. All right, look, I will see all of you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Think about what's happening here. With regard to this, you think this is a test? People, this guy's been explaining to you forever. Get your cash out of these institutions. Keep only in what you need to, because we are forced to participate in their system. I still say credit unions are safer than these institutions here. They don't have derivative risk, understand? And they're not risk free. But first of all, you can't even remain in a central bank issued note, and I really despise the current position that I'm in. Again, I'm 90% out of this market, and I have a very large cash position, and I got to start making some moves here. I've been sitting on this for a couple of weeks. I don't like it. Anyway, I've covered this with all of you, but pay attention to this kind of stuff here, because understand the banks will not be held to account for what they're doing here. As a matter of fact, banks are being deregulated. It's part of the reason why Trump is where he is right now, to merge cryptos with deregulated banks here, to allow the system to inflate via even possibly negative rates as the economy comes apart faster. Look for scapegoats. Like I said yesterday, they're already talking about the California fires as a reason why the economy is going to slow, as a reason for more inflation. They're setting you up. They're setting you up. You understand? Be very careful, people. And I think, honestly, most of you get it. And I hope you're taking action here. If you are taking action, I want to hear from you. If you're not, if you think I'm completely wrong, explain to me why. What am I missing here? Because I hear a lot of that. Greg doesn't know what Trump is doing behind the scenes. It looks like we have a lot of people here who are in the inner circle of Trump, but they don't want to tell us what he's actually doing. We're supposed to figure it out because it's pretty obvious. Obviously, we know what's happening here, people. And these people like that, they drank a lot of Kool-Aid, man, and they're gonna lose. Unfortunately, they're gonna lose the hardest and the most. Love you from the heart, as I said. We got each other as always, people, and I believe this with every fiber of my being. We, you and me, our source is the Almighty. How can we possibly lose? I'll see you later.